Hello everyone, Crash here, this is RTA Motorsports, and today we're going to be unboxing the Meta Quest 3 as well as the new Elite head strap. Here we go. Before we actually unbox them, let's go over the packaging. Now let's just slide the Quest 3 Elite head strap out of the way here. The first thing I gotta say that hit me, and hopefully hit you all as well, is look, my hand is almost spanning the entire size of the box. This is a tiny package that is holding a whole Quest 3, an all-in-one VR headset experience with the controllers. Absolutely insane. I gotta say, this is probably a third of the size by guess of the Quest 2 box, maybe even I don't know, like 1/5 the size of what the Index box is. I know I could fit probably about 5 or 6 of these inside of the Pimax 5K Plus packaging, and it's very neat from a consumer perspective to be able to buy something. You don't have to worry about all that trash that you have to throw out or anything like that. It also goes to show just Meta is able to downsize the amount of waste that is actually coming from just packaging these headsets. And I'm sure, judging by what I've seen in the past with Meta, the headset's probably going to be packaged in there very well with very low chance of any sort of damage being inside the packaging. Let's look at the Meta Quest 3 Elite head strap packaging here. Now this is almost the exact size, it's actually a little bit taller, of the headset and controllers. This packaging is probably about the same size as prior gen Elite head strap boxes. And just to go into this package here, you could see cardboard showing on either side. You have an easy opening bottom there. But when we wrap around to the back, pretty much it doesn't give a whole lot of information because there's not really a whole lot to it. It does talk about the number one there on the back being the adjustable fit wheel, so you can ratchet it down. And we'll see if it is actually a ratchet mechanism like they had in the past. Number 2 here, it says premium rigid hard strap, so that's referring to the side piece there. Number 3, that would be this rubber gasket or O-ring, the rubber cup that goes on the back of your head there. It says rear flexible brace helps distribute weight for longer, more comfortable playtime. The reason why I went with this Elite head strap is because I've had this Elite head strap pretty much for all my Quest headsets, from the Oculus Quest 1 to the Meta Quest 2 and now the Meta Quest 3. So I want to be able to compare them side by side for that fitment, so that way I'm getting kind of apples to apples comparison. And now let's go over the Quest 3 packaging. Again, you do have that exposed cardboard on the side with the easy opening tab, so that's a nice touch there. Be able to get into it as fast as possible. It says inside the box you got the Meta Quest 3 headset, you got the standard facial interface pre-installed. Okay, we got 2 Meta Quest Touch Plus controllers, 2 wrist straps pre-installed, power adapter, charger cable, and 2 AA batteries. All right, and then again, another easy open tab there on that side. So let's start off with the Meta Quest 3 Elite head strap unboxing. So you could see it does have 2 of those easy open tabs, so we're gonna just do that one there. Then on the bottom, same deal. All right, and then from there we should just be able to grab the tab here, slide it right out. So you can see it says right there, nice white text, Meta Quest 3. The boxes, you know, even though they're exposed cardboard or anything like that, it still feels premium. It does have like a nice card stock to it. It doesn't feel flimsy or you know, like garbage or anything like that. It still feels really nice. And nice presentation there. Do have a little piece of, what is that, cardboard, or can't tell if it's foam or cardboard on the back here to probably hold down the back of that head strap. But we do have the head strap here. And I gotta say, it looks very similar to the prior gen's Elite head strap. And let's see. Probably can hear that there. It is a ratchet mechanism. It does feel smoother and more weighted than the prior ones, but overall, I gotta say it looks pretty similar, except for the mounting points. The mounting points are different, and we'll go into that once we go into the Meta Quest 3, the actual headset itself. The straps look pretty similar. There's almost like a rubberized sort of coating on the bottom of the strap here. Oh, that's that warning label. But overall, the Quest 3 Elite head strap looks very similar. A lot of people did message me regarding the Elite head strap, wondering if there was a battery in there. This is not the powered head strap. Just keep that in mind. It is a little expensive, and you're mainly buying that for the easy on and off adjustment of the back of the ratchet mechanism, and also just of the comfort of it. You're not getting an additional battery pack, so just keep that in mind when you're purchasing it. We do have a little bit of cardboard here in the front. Let's take that off. Just gonna tear it here. There we go. And there you go. So pretty much we're gonna be installing this right onto the headset in place of the existing head strap. But overall, very nice Elite head strap. Just reminds me, it's very reminiscent of the prior gens. I wouldn't say there's much of a big difference here, which is welcome because I really did like the prior Elite head straps. Also inside the packaging, you just get a few little books here, Meta Quest book. And I think that is pretty much it for inside the packaging. So let's get into the important one. Okay, so let's get into the big one, the one that we have been waiting for. I can't believe today is the day. I am so excited. And again, Meta Quest 3. So let's just jump right in. We do have the two easy open tabs, one on either side. I didn't. There we go. Kind of messed it up. Ended up tearing it in half. Again. All right. So you don't have like a nice little tab to actually pull from, but we'll try to just push it through. Thing is, it's all like really nicely printed on there, and it's all very smooth cardboard, so it's kind of hard to get a grip on it. All right, there we go, the Meta Quest 3. I can't believe it's all in this little box. This is not even the size of it's literally, I don't know, half the size of a shoebox. And there we go. We are greeted with the headset here. It's, this is insane. This is insane. The presentation in it is just very minimalistic, but clean. Everything here just seems to be like recyclable materials. Up here, it says scan to start. So you're gonna scan from your phone that QR code to start, and then you just have your controllers here. They just come out. You know, this box, to be honest with you, the way it closes and everything like that, I might just hold on to it to just store the headset in there. This is pretty slick. And then, yeah, that's it. So before we actually go over the headset and the controllers, let's empty out the rest of the box here. So let's open up this rear tab. And I would imagine this is just going to be the charger here, the charger situation. Let's see, so we do have the AC adapter. A lot of, cell phones and whatnot, they don't include the AC adapters anymore. This includes an AC adapter, so that's nice. Kind of, it's got like a paper coating on there. There we go. That's a pretty cool charger, like a barrel. Look at that. You don't see chargers really shaped like this at all, ever. So we'll stick that there. And then in the rest of this little box, we have the actual charger cable. So I don't expect this to be that long, maybe 2-3 feet. USB-C on both sides, USB-C to USB-C. It feels like a nice premium cable, very thick cable. I'm imagining it's capable of doing some data. So let me stick that in there because we're probably going to have to charge this headset a little bit to actually get some use out of it. And then, of course, we have, just got that smell of brand new glue, like freshly cured glue. Every headset that you buy, it's since the beginning of VR, really, every headset that I have ever bought, when you first open it up, you get that familiar smell of like freshly dried glue, you know, almost like new car smell. And this is no exception. I just got a whiff of it just now. And then look at these little books. You can see by my head, pretty small little books here. This is like the safety information here. Very minimalistic. I actually appreciate that. I really do. I think it's pretty cool. You don't have like these giant boxes to throw away. Actually, in this case, like I was saying before, just how cool the box is as far as, you know, having just this cutout here where the controllers can just fit into really nicely. I might just store my headset in there until I actually get a case for it or get a charging dock. I've seen some charging docks out there that are really nice. They are very pricey, but I did see some charging docks that I'm very interested in. Okay, so for comparison purposes, I actually picked up the Quest 2 controllers that I have, just so we could compare them side by side and really kind of go over the new Touch Plus controllers that are out for the Quest 3. So again, the Quest Pro controllers are also compatible. You can buy those and use them. They have the cameras built in. You can't really lose tracking with them because they are self-tracked. The headset's not tracking them. These are tracked by the headset. So very important to note there. But from looking at some of the reviews, the tracking is absolutely incredible and it's very hard to lose tracking. So you pretty much have to hide the headset or hide the controller from the headset, one or the other, in order to lose tracking. We will test that out. I guess the tracking, from what I understand, is now around the edge of the face of the Quest 3 controller, or the Touch Plus controller, I should say. Whereas the Quest 2 and all prior models all had this tracking ring. So I guess this is the generation that is officially getting rid of the tracking ring. Now you can see that the strings are here that are here on the controller are extremely similar to the same type of material, even the same or similar pattern as the new controller here. So as far as the lanyard goes for the controllers, they're going to be exactly the same. Even the method to tighten them, you have that same little piece of plastic there as we experienced on the old controllers. I do got to say, with the battery in, because this already has a battery pre-installed, with the battery in, the Touch Plus controllers almost feel a little bit heavier, very slightly. I would like to weigh them just to get an idea as to what's actually going on there, but this almost feels heftier, but not in a bad way, almost in a more of a premium way. So the Touch Plus controller to me kind of feels a little bit better. The plastics feel nicer on the Touch Plus controller. The grip buttons feel a little bit more dampened than the Quest 2, but only slightly. Like, I'm really just, and the triggers feel exactly the same. So the grip buttons are a little bit more dampened. Triggers are about the same, maybe slightly more dampened. But again, it might just be that these controllers are new and these are older, but you can almost hear the difference. The Quest 2 controller, is louder and almost sounds hollow when you're pulling the trigger. It does have this really nice angled face. Now, I was kind of wondering, like, why did they angle the face of it? But they angled the face, I think, to give you more of a natural sort of thumb rest, whereas on the old Touch controllers, it was flat here, and you had that pad, that dedicated pad there, where if you rested your hand, you were more in this like claw sort of grip, Whereas in this one here, it's almost like as if you're holding something or holding like a gun or more of a natural gripping motion because you do have that angle there. I don't know if you could see that angle that is not present on the old controller. That is perfectly flat there. Whereas that one, we got that nice little angle. And it actually, you feel it in your hand. It actually feels a little bit more like you're grasping something, a lot more ergonomic. Again, the buttons on the Quest 2 are loud and almost hollow feeling. And the Touch Plus controllers, much more dampened, very quiet. That's the one thing I'm noticing, like you could barely hear hitting the buttons. The old controller is pretty loud, okay. And what about analog sticks? Feel a little bit heavier, a little bit more weighty on the Touch Plus controllers. So, and also, let's pull this battery out here. So now the controller is live. We could push this button. This is actually a button here. I don't know if we could actually catch that on camera. Let me see if I can block some of the light. See that little triangle? That's actually a button. So let's push that button, and that's now how you open, it actually pops it open, the battery door. So you can see the battery there, alkaline, hey bright. But that should hopefully eliminate the accidental opening of the controller door or the battery door, because you actually have to push that button down. You can see that it ejected there. As opposed to this one here actually wasn't bad. I never really had too many issues. It did happen, but it was on a rare occasion that I felt like this was definitely a big departure from the Quest 1 controller. The Quest 1, you pretty much just grabbed the controller hard enough and the battery door popped off. This one was much better and actually had little clips on the inside, and it actually wasn't that bad. Again, the Touch Pro controllers for the the Quest Pro, those are rechargeable, so there's no battery door in them. And I gotta say, these feel very similar to those, maybe not as heavy because it doesn't have the integrated cameras and the circuitry for it, but they feel very similar to those controllers, and I actually really like those controllers. So, all right, so that's it for the controllers there. Let me throw that back in there. Let's go over the actual headset. Let's unbox that a little bit more, and you can see just how ridiculously small this thing is. Now again, if you have a Best Buy near you, give them a call, see if they have a Quest 3 display up and running with a demo unit, because mine does, and that's how I was able to test the unit before buying, and I did put out a video about that, and hopefully you all get the chance to do the same thing as well. I actually really like, even though I would get it so dirty so fast, how the base strap gives it that nice fabric on the side. I don't know if you could see that at all, or if it's getting a little blown out on the camera, but there is fabric from the head strap going down through the side here, and it kind of gives it like a nice premium feel, because that's what you're kind of holding on when you go to put it on your head, and you get that nice fabric there. That's actually a really nice touch. It's kind of a shame I'm gonna be taking this head strap off, but let's take this here off. It's saying, oh, it's showing how to adjust in and out for glasses. And it's saying that there's buttons on the inside. You push on either side and you could raise and lower the facial interface distance. So let's move the head strap out of the way, and you can see those big, beautiful lenses, a little bit bigger than the Quest 2. Let's take the covers off because I am feeling dangerous and daring. And we'll look on the underside here so you can see this is for the charging dock. It has the 3 contact points there. I'm imagining this is volume, like a volume rocker. This is the IPD adjustment wheel. So from the Quest 2, where you only had 3 settings to really accommodate for 3 different types of IPD, and then there was like a window of IPD ranges, low, medium, high, essentially, that it covered. Now we have the smooth adjustment here where you can see the lenses coming together, where we can go all the way from a low IPD, I think of 59 if I remember, all the way up to 70, and then there's a window both lower than that and higher than that, that it actually accounts for. I'll put more information out when we do the full review, exactly what that is. But you could see that there is actually not many cameras on this thing. I was expecting more cameras. We have all the cameras on the front here. You can see all those there, and then just some on the sides here. I was expecting some on the top edges, but we don't have that. But from what I hear, tracking is really good with the headset. I mean, with the controllers above the headset. So kind of interested in how they're actually doing that. And then on the inside, you do have that sensor there to sense when it's actually put up to your face. On the inside of the head straps here, you can see the speakers too. That's one thing I noticed on the demo unit. The sound was definitely punchier and bassier than what we experienced in the past. One neat thing that they're doing now is they're actually integrating the headphones. So you can see the headphone right there. The headphone jack is actually part of the headband on that side. And on this side here, we have the USB-C charging port all on the side of the headband. So no longer is it, you know, kind of behind things or anything like that. Aftermarket headbands for the Quest 3 should have those cutouts there, so it shouldn't really interfere with any accessories that you want to put on. Sometimes aftermarket headbands kind of interfere with the USB-C port and possibly any accessories you want to throw on there, whether it be another battery pack or whatever. So that we shouldn't have any interruptions there. And let's see, so if we push this button on the inside, so right along the inside, let's see if I could get a good video of it. You could just see that there. So that is a button, and then those are the adjustment holes. And there's a button on either side where you could raise and lower kind of how close or how far away you want those lenses to be to your face. Now, the only downside is you have to do it with it off your head because you can't really reach in and kind of do it. So that's the only like little gripe I have about that design. Now let's try to take this facial interface material off. I might have to look up how to do it. All right, I'll look up how to do that and we'll cover that in the review because I kind of feel like I'm breaking it. You might just have to just pull it straight off and I'm just not doing it right, but we'll cover that. And now I also have, let's move this box out of the way. I have the Quest 2 here so that way we can compare side by side the actual size of the headset. Look how crazy that looks. It's absolutely insanity how big of a difference these two headsets really are. I'm gonna move this box down. Look at that. Let's try to line them up a little bit. That's absolutely insane. So my forehead would be here and my forehead's gonna be up here. So that's how much closer you are getting to the screens there. And you could also just see that this has a much more rounded appearance. Now, if I remember correctly, I think the Quest 2 had a single screen. And that's, you know, that's kind of how they were running with the Quest 2, whereas the Quest 3 now has two screens, one for each eye. So much bigger difference there. And I'll try to, let's see if we could get this kind of side by side, because I feel like the Quest 3 has bigger lenses, but it might just be an optical illusion because the headset is much smaller in size. Let's see. Oh no, those are definitely bigger. Look at that. Look at that difference there. So Quest 2 and the Quest 3, and you can just see how much bigger those pancake lenses are and how much prettier they are. They're absolutely gorgeous. Gone are the days of the Fresnel lens. Can't wait for VR Cover to make some sort of cover for it, because I'm sure I'm gonna get this thing pretty good and sweaty. But stay tuned, everyone, because I'm going to be doing my first impressions video and hopefully soon my full review, again from a sim racer's perspective. So if you're looking for like PC VR, that's going to be kind of the angle I'm going at with it, as well as we're going to do some, you know, dedicated Quest 3 VR, of course. But if you guys want to see that Of course, I'm going to be putting it against the HP Reverb G2, as well as a lot of the other headsets I have. Definitely stay tuned. That video I hope to have come out real soon. Everyone, Crash here. This is RTA Motorsports. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you all next time.